Hey, welcome to Stick 'em Up. I'm Mike Felumlee, and we're supposed to have Mustafa. I don't know where he is. He's late. It's 3 o'clock. We told him 2. Did he text you, Ken?
I haven't heard from him.
No. And I think Rob is here. He's upstairs. We've got Rob Kellenberger. But I don't know where Moose is. He's late to everything. He was late when the Brokedowns did their session. He showed up late, like an hour and a half late. He's always late. I guess I'll just like show you some drum fills or something for now until he gets here.
Hey, relax everybody, relax. I'm here. We can get started now in a little bit. Get everything queued up so we can start in a minute. I was so late. I apologize, darling. This fame is seriously, I've been on my cell phone all the time. People are always just like texting me now because of these videos, all this like popularity. I had to shit, shower, and shave my back. But yeah, I'm ready to go. Are we going to start this?
All right, Moose, did you tell Rob that you're here? He was waiting for you.
I didn't know that we were already on.
Yeah,
yes.
he's here.
Hey, Rob! Rob! Come downstairs! Oh, hey. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Rob Kellenberger.
I'm not kissing him on the lips. You don't want that. You don't want none of this. You don't want none of this, Rob.
Oh, he's got that awesome fest.
Strep throat, his awesome fest flu.
Yeah.
How are we with that?
Thanks
door?
for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming. And yeah, what are you, raised in a barn?
There you go. Door closed.
Born in a barn, Rob Kellenberger.
Born in a barn, Kellenberger.
Why are you guys being mean to me already?
Hey, if you can't take what you dish, get out.
Your lips actually are really nice.
Oh, thank you. I'm looking at every camera. And separately, Ken on his own. Hey. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yes, welcome to the Rock Room.
You were, I think, probably,
nice.
Rob had to have been probably like when we were talking about getting guests, he was probably like number 1 or number 2 of people we were talking about getting.
Hopefully I was number 2.
Ooh.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I'm picking up what you're putting down. He's a freak. Okay. But you're here, and thank you for showing up. We didn't really have anything that we told you we were going to do ahead of time,
Nice.
so we're gonna wing it. This is just basically how we've been doing the show. But we have this talent here. You have been in many bands.
I have been.
Slugbug.
That's it.
Most notably.
Most notably.
Start at the most popular and then go down.
Right, and then
Slugbug.
and what happened with that? I heard you
basically I was
disbanded the band because of a pot smoker or something.
Right, yeah. One of the guys definitely smoked weed, and
And you
we
were
needed
appalled.
him out.
Nope, gone.
So that was it. And then I started, I then just joined every band that Mike was in after he left. That's my whole career playing drums. So
Yeah.
we're pretty good there.
I remember when I was living with you, I was smoking Camels, or not living with you, but
Above you, yeah.
above you. I came outside and you had this white sheet of paper. You had this white sheet of paper, and you're like, "Hey, is that a Camel?" I said, "Sure," and you're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, can I see it real quick?" I'm like, "Okay," and you just grabbed you set the cigarette down on a white piece of paper, and you were like, just took a picture of it. I was like, what was that for? You're like, I'm into smoking popes now. That's for a shirt design. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I was trying to design a whole bunch of shirts
Yeah.
because otherwise they would not be designed.
Yeah.
So there goes that tie-in.
Yeah, you lived with Eric, right?
Yeah. I lived with Eric Grossman for a while.
Yeah.
And I remember we threw that party. You were like my landlord, technically.
Well, my dad was.
Yes, yeah.
And I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. And I remember you were like, hey, could you just tell everyone to smoke outside? I'm like, sorry. Which is like a horrible thing to do like then, but like now if you just let a bunch of people smoke cigarettes in your house, oh my God. Anyway, okay, wait, hold on. So, like, how long have you been playing drums? Because I know that you've done other stuff. You sing?
Yeah, so I started playing drums. My mom actually played drums in high school. So in the jazz band and stuff like that. So I always like kind of liked drums, but like she never played. I never saw her play. But actually I went to, in 3rd grade, they had tryouts for bands starting in 4th grade, and they said, come on in and like try out, like tell us what instrument you want to play, and then we'll kind of run you through some tests and see if that's a good fit for you. So they brought me in. I was like, of course I want to play saxophone. So it was like the height of like Springsteen and like just like every song had saxophone in it. So I was like, yeah, that's what I want to play. The
saxophone guy in movies.
Yeah. I mean,
Lost
who
Boys.
doesn't want to play saxophone? It's the coolest instrument. So they were like, as soon as I said saxophone, the band director was like, we already have too many people playing saxophone. Is there anything else you would like to play? And I'm like, drums, I guess.
That's me, I'm sorry.
The rock star Mustafa.
Yeah, all this
He's late, now he doesn't know how to turn his phone notifications
I was in a
off.
movie last night and my phone went off. I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh! But yeah, so I chose drums at that point. That was 3rd grade. I got my first drum set in 6th grade, broke it, and then bought my first like real drum set that I bought probably in 7th grade, and it's the drum set that I sold then to Scott Anna from Sweep the Leg Johnny, and regretted it from the day that I sold it to him till the day he gave it back to me about a year ago.
Oh my God, really?
I got it back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it?
It's a Ludwig. It's a 60s Ludwig. It looks like the Ringo set.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I got it back. I got to redo the whole thing, but it's I'm so glad to have it back.
You know what's funny? Like, I was just thinking about that the other day, because they did that same thing with us, too, where they were like, next year. And I remember I wanted to play drums, and like, okay, so this is what it's going to cost to get things going. And my parents were like, well, we're not going to pay for anything, so I'm not a drummer. But I do, like, a bunch of people I know were like, I wanted to play drums, but they made me play trombone in 4th grade or 5th grade. So now I play
so
trombone.
Glad it happened the other way for me.
Yeah, I'm like, how is that?
The worst.
How, like, so basically
because
these people are,
I played trombone.
Did you really?
Yeah, 5th and 6th grade I played trombone.
But I just feel weird. I feel that it's weird that, like, what would have happened if these people didn't really, like, pick the path that you ended up taking? Like, what if every single kid, like, it didn't matter that everyone was playing saxophone? Yeah, what if you had a band that had, like, no trombones, 10 drummers, and it's all saxes? You know what I mean?
I say we start a band right now with the instrument that we wanted to play. So you're on drums, I'm on sax.
I started on guitar.
On trombone.
I started on guitar, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I never knew how to play it. I got the guitar.
It's gonna be a great band.
And then I just started playing. I had to listen to a song that I wanted to play along to, and I started like on the guitar.
That's amazing. So you didn't actually play guitar, you played drums on guitar.
No. You ever seen that show Last Man on Earth?
Yeah.
He's like, I wrote a song for this, and he puts on an acoustic guitar, like fake tunes, and then he's just like, boom, God. And he's just slapping it like, and he'll sing a song.
Do you play guitar now?
No, I can barely play.
Oh, okay.
There's like one Alkaline Trio song I could play, and that's it.
Well, which
Bleeder. Yeah, that one. Just because I was like, oh man, like I like this song. Every girl that I like likes this song. I'm going to learn how to play this song. And then, and I should also say that I could only play the verse, and that's it. So when I say one song, it's part of a song, not even the whole thing.
I mean, those guitar parts are pretty hard.
So, you joined band in school then as a drummer.
Yep. I actually started a band with some guys in 7th grade. Jason Flax, Josh Trevino, and my friend Chris. And most of those guys I've actually ended up playing in other bands with later. But so then I played in a whole bunch of other like weird bands that really probably never played shows. And then my junior year, me and my buddy Jason Flax, he was showing my friend Matt how to play ska on guitar, and so Matt was like, "That's pretty cool," and like we had heard like Operation Ivy and like Mighty Mighty Bosstones, and so we were like, "Let's start a band like that." So it was me and Matt. Jason wasn't even in the band. He just showed us how to play ska guitar, and then we played with this other band, Flowers. Got Danny to play bass from seeing him play. He was like a killer bass player.
So you were in Flowers?
No, I was. We played.
You played a show with them.
No, Slugbug I think played a show with Flowers, or I had seen them play, and so we asked him to play, and then it was just a 3-piece, and then we saw this band Glad Hand play. Got Brendan to come play with us, and that was it. That was Slapstick. Played with that band for a long time. That broke up. Half of it was Tuesday. That
Broadway's.
band, half of it was Broadway's. And then we broke up because we wanted to play different kinds of music, but then toured together like immediately after. Like went on a tour together. So we were still like friends, but it's just like different desires as far as music goes. And then what happened after that? Some other bands.
What happened after that?
Tuesday. Oh, then Dan got more involved with Alkaline Trio. He joined Alkaline Trio. He got more involved in that, and then so Tuesday kind of fizzled out. Matt went back to school. Then I started playing with Colossal, which totally different direction than I'd ever played in, but it was super fun and super challenging. And then I started playing. You left Duval, and I
totally forgot you were in Duval.
Yeah. You left Duval, and Josh called me and said, "Hey, we're having tryouts for drummers," and I said, "Well, I'm not going to try out, but if you want me to play in the band, I'll totally play in the band."
Did you really say that?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I was just like, I don't want to try out. Like, you've seen me play drums.
Yeah.
I'll totally be in the band, and I think, I would love to do it. And he's like, all right, well, then you're in the band. So that's how that happened. And then I kind of stopped playing music for a little while, for about 3 years. And then decided I was working at the Apple store, and Josh, again, called me and said, "Hey, can I come see you?" And I was like, I don't know what this is about. And so on my lunch break,
on the van or something?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was way before that. He took me to go get lunch. We went to go get lunch together, and then that's when he asked if I wanted to play with the Popes, and so I played with the Popes for one record, just redoing your stuff, which was actually one of the most fun I've ever had because I love your drumming so much. So I was like, I just get to play Mike. It was amazing. And then we actually started writing some new stuff, but they wanted to tour. I was pretty sure that they weren't going to be touring a lot, and I wasn't going to quit my job that I'd had forever. So I was like, I love playing with you guys, but I can't be in a touring band. Like,
so were you before Ryan came in?
Yeah. So then I was like, they were like, well, what about this? Like, they were, well, first of all, Matt, like, pretty much did not want to speak to me ever again because he was, like, so, like, salty that I was just, like, I accepted the job to play in the band and then just didn't want to tour.
Right.
And, but I also had toured with those guys previously, and I knew that, it might not last that long, and I don't want to quit my job. So, nothing against those guys. I just knew that, like, I didn't want to risk, like, I had already worked for this job for like 8 years.
Right.
So I actually said, hey, you should get this guy Ryan, who did set up shows in Houston, and he was just like the best dude. So I was like, you guys need somebody in the band who's just like fun to be around, who's an amazing musician. Like, this is the guy you should get. So then he played with him for a little while. And then then Neil took over at some point. I don't know why.
I went to the Metro thinking I was going to see you play with the Popes.
Right.
Like,
well, that's the weird thing though, because they said, okay, we're gonna have Ryan play the tour stuff when we get back to Chicago and we record. We want you to play on the records. I was like, I'll totally do that. That's great. So they went on this first tour with Ryan, and when they got back to Chicago, like I was calling those guys and trying to get a hold of them, like figure out like, are we gonna practice like maybe once before we play the show or what's going on? And they were just like, I couldn't get a hold of anybody. So I just went to the show, and I was like, at least I was gonna be there in case like I was supposed to play, and they were just like, yeah, we just like it would be weird now to just have you play after we really kind of hit our groove with Ryan. So I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Right.
And so, but I was just still like, what? That's weird. But anyway, then Neil played with him for a long time, and then I would sit in for the Popes every once in a while when Neil couldn't do something. And then one time they asked me to play a benefit show for our friend John, who passed away. And
Emerson?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I could play this show, but I want to see if Mike will play this show. So I called Mike and asked if he would play it. And then,
out of selfish reasons?
yeah, like I just wanted to see
it.
Mike in the Popes again. And I didn't even like really check with Josh or anybody. I just was like, this needs to happen at this point. So I was just like, I called Mike and he's like, yeah, I would do it. And then I called Josh and he's like, yeah, of course we would do it. Like, so then that's it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny
Like,
that.
And then you played right
it's
after.
like, and then seeing him play at that show was just like, I felt like a 16-year-old girl. Like I was like sitting over there like eyelashes batting, like just going. It was like the best thing I've seen for like ever and ever.
Broke Down's on our new album coming out. We got a song about John Emerson, kind of.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. R.I.P.
He did a ton. He did a ton for the scene.
Oh yeah, I recorded in his house. You had to, yeah.
Yep.
Did you ever?
I never did.
Actually, just found a Tuesday dat that we did.
Really?
With him there that we never released. But that stuff I would like to somehow get transferred to like. So I could hear it. But then I was in a band with the guitarist from my first band ever called Lord. That was like metal
Josh.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Is that the band that kicked out because you weren't good enough?
Like
the
yeah,
same
it
guy?
was. It
Same
was,
guy?
yeah. And actually, the reason we started Lord was because we wanted to. I was talking to Josh, and I was like, we should do the band now that we wanted to start in 7th grade. And so that's what
Really?
it was, yeah.
That's
It's
awesome.
like we wanted to play metal music.
Yeah.
But like in 7th grade, we just covered like Beatles songs and Black Sabbath and like whatever, Led Zeppelin. But now we were like, we can actually play our instruments. We should try this. And that's what Lord was.
That's awesome.
Cool.
So that's pretty much it. I think I'm in a few bands now, but I know I'm forgetting some, and like I'm gonna be embarrassed.
Well,
Somebody
you're
in
old
one
as
of your
dirt.
bands is gonna be real mad. Like,
Yeah,
you didn't
super
mention us,
angry.
Rob.
Hey, why don't you name drop us on the episode, man? We could have got a bunch more likes this week.
Get nervous by Mustafa's fame.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gonna get the Mustafa bump? Man, that band's gonna get the Mustafa bump. Bumping likes. All right.
I don't know if this goes on the same one because I know we've been chatting a long time.
Yeah.
But there is I have a funny Rob story. This is years ago.
This is actually probably not true.
No, this is 100% true. It's years ago. I
This
think
happens to me a lot where people tell me a funny story about me,
you?
and I'm like,
No,
that didn't happen.
there's nothing embarrassing. But you and I were going to a Bears game. We were driving to a Bears game, and either to the game or home from the game, and you had the copy of the Smoking Popes live album that you played on, and you had the one that I played on, and I was driving, and you were you'd play these songs, and you'd just be like, all right, is this one me or is this one you? And then you play a song, and then you just look at me, and I'd be like, that's me, and you're like, damn. And then you get up and I was like, is this you or me? And then you play it and you just stare at me like, that's you. damn. Like that was the whole trip to the
I mean,
Bears game.
that was fun for me. You got to understand. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you didn't stump me.
That'd be fun for me as a commentator. If I was in the backseat
Oh
just
my
kind of like
God.
watching this going on, I'd be like,
oh, you think that's bad? Like, when I was touring with Duvall, like I would share. Me and Josh always shared a room, and I would make him go get his acoustic guitar, and then play me songs, like Pope songs and like stuff like that.
Dude.
Just in a hotel room, and he was always like super nice about it. He always like, was like, "Yeah, let's do this," and we would just sit there and talk for hours and like play music, and I would be like, we were just like, it was just so amazing. But like thinking about how he felt about it, he was probably like, "This is super annoying. I just want to like relax in my hotel room and watch some stupid."
Rob
TV."
wants
Keeping
me to
his
play
chops
Megan
up.
again.
I'm like, but like it wasn't like I guess it didn't feel like that, but
Yeah.
like it's just so funny because in my point of view, it's just I don't care about. I'm not necessarily thinking about maybe what the other person's feeling like. I'm just like I love this music so much and I love these people so much. Like I want to like soak up as much as this as I can.
Do you
Like,
remember when I lived above you and we'd go walking?
oh yeah.
That was like me. I'd just be asking you stories, and you'd be like, "All right, well, we're walking." You know, it's like,
Good,
yeah,
man.
no, I totally get it. But like a funny thing is, maybe a year ago, Brian from Post Child had to go to Epic Deli to do an acoustic set, and Josh Caterer was doing it, and they just did the Smoking Pope sandwich there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I went with them, and like I was like, yeah, this is all cool, you know, this is cool and all. But as soon as Josh started playing songs, I totally melted. I was just like,
it's amazing.
like I was just. And I was like, man, he had to have just like glanced at everyone, people eating sandwiches, and made his way over to me, and I'm just like, like, yeah, it's awesome. I literally just put myself in like where I was when I listened to Popes. Like
Right.
my buddy's older sister, when I was like in middle school, got us into Popes. You know.
Yeah.
So like it was just crazy like to see that like, oh man, that's cool. Like not what I expected when we were at Riot Fest and Rancid played all of And Outcome. I didn't even think that was like gonna be a highlight, and I totally turned into a kid when
Dude,
as
that
soon as it
album
started.
kills.
I was like, oh my god, like this is an album I've listened to so many times, and it's happening in front. I was behind the stage watching it. You know what I
nice.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I was just like watching this. It was so crazy, but it's funny how that music. I would have done the same thing. Ask Josh to just play a bunch of songs through me every night.
I mean,
Bless his heart for doing
before I
it.
go to bed.
Yeah,
I mean,
sing me to
it's
sleep.
like it wasn't that though. It was like, can you play "Hang for Me" or like that stuff. But like you have to understand, like I had played in bands previous to seeing the Smoking Popes, and it was all like there was always like this metal kind of like side to it, like metal. It was like metal, not really even punk rock. Like I didn't even know what punk rock was till. Like I saw that show at the VFW in Elgin, and it was like, I don't even know what the show was actually. It was like Elgin Palooza or something.
Yeah,
weird.
it was one of
And
our
I
first
saw-
Elgin shows.
I saw you guys, and I was like, oh, those guys look like me, playing awesome music. They don't have long hair. They don't have like leather jackets. Like they are just like normal guys who just are like amazing. And I bought the Inoculator 7-inch at that show, and I took it to. I didn't have a record player, but I wanted to have it, and I took it to the minister of my church. He was the only person I knew who had a record player that could dub
Smoking
it to
Popes.
tape. Yeah, so I took that
The
record.
minister had a smoking.
Yeah, and I took it, and I had him copy it to
He
cassette
had to
so I
bless,
could
he had to
listen to it.
bless the, bless the
Yeah,
tape.
he let me do it. I'm like so surprised because my parents like they have never seen me play a show ever. Like they just will not do it. It's against their religion to like go to a show or whatever. But yeah, I always think that's so funny that I took it to our minister's house so that I could listen to this tape, and I burned that tape up. That tape like it got played so many times.
Anyway,
Sweet.
Yeah, we should, before we let Rob leave here, we should have him play some drums, but we'll probably do that on the next episode.
Yeah.
We're gonna put him behind the kit, and me and Mustafa are gonna tell him what to do. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be horrible, actually.
It's gonna be great.
Oh my goodness.
And you can't do any tweaking. You can't set it up at all.
No, that's to be set exactly as it is.
Yeah, that's what we make it. But it's okay. We have everyone do it this way. And by that I mean we will have everyone do it this way. You're the first.
But
Maybe that's the challenge.
Rob.
Set it up the most weird way you can.
Dude, that's
the
so
snare
great.
drum way out.
Point it away from you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This thing's blinking. What does that mean? Battery almost dead?
Probably.
Or it just stopped. It
We
stopped.
cut this one.
It
Thank
stopped
you, Rob,
recording like 10
for being here.
Yeah.
Thanks
for having
me. All right, go ahead and hit record. We got to actually record
And
this
it's
out
not
before.
recording over there either.
Not at all.
That would
I
be
can
so
see that
amazing.
going.
And it's still recording,
whole
but
thing.
it's got a big line through the battery.
Like, it's dead. Battery's dead. We got to kick Rob out, but he's going to come back and play drums.
Yeah. All right.
All right, thanks, Rob.
Yeah, thank you.